Well, good morning. It's Mel Tempest from the Gym Owners Business Podcast. And today I'm speaking to Lindsey Rainwater. Lindsey is the founder of WEFO, which is Women in Fitness Association. The mission for WEFO is that every woman professionally can find her place and rise to her full potential. Good morning, Lindsey.
Good morning, Mel. Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. So today we're doing a coffee podcast, and I know there's lots of women out there that are really excited about listening to our podcast. So let's get stuck straight into it. Please tell me a little bit about where WIFA was born and then the types of memberships that are available to the women that could be interested.
Absolutely. Ah, goodness. Well, as far as where it was born, it's funny that you use that word because when WEFO was launched, I was 7 months pregnant. So I was getting ready to give birth to my son, and I was literally pregnant with the idea of WEFA as well at the same time. And so WEFA was birthed into the world in May of this last year, and since then we've had really exciting growth. And the idea really came from, I have to give a lot of credit to Ursa because I was at the event this past year, attending the Women in Leadership Summit, and Deborah Sienna, one of my dear friends, was facilitating, and I was so inspired about being with women and being in a room with so many women in leadership. And I left that event going, that was great. I want to do that all the time. Like, I don't want to wait a whole nother year. And so, I became really interested in finding a solution for that. And so fast forward, the Women in Fitness Association has launched, and we're providing a place where all year long, we're offering events and collaborative opportunities and ways for women to elevate and give people a voice where there might not have been a one before. So that's where it really came from. I think that the idea has probably been inside of me for a very long time. And then it just became obvious to me that I couldn't wait any longer to either find something like that because I couldn't necessarily find it. I just created it. And I've been very blessed that the response has been that of, I'm not alone in the way that I felt. A lot of women wanted to have a place to come for development, to come for mentorship, and we're providing that for so many different women now.
That's fantastic. So I know that you have memberships available, but just before we go into the memberships, can you just tell our listeners some of the other women that are involved in WIFA? Because you actually have a board and you've got some great women that have come on board. So please do tell us all about those ladies.
Absolutely. Well, when it came time to form the association, I, of course, raised my hand and said, I got to find some ladies that are way smarter than me to partner with because let's face it, I might have the idea, but I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I shouldn't discredit myself. There's a lot of things I didn't know how to do. And so I asked Maureen O'Rourke and Brandy Bergeron and Sarah Pellegrino and Deborah Sienna to join me as the founding board members, and they helped me formulate the bylaws and getting ourselves organized and that sort of thing. And then that group of women, we created another round of board interest, and we had 12 or 13 women that applied to be board members, which was so incredible. And so we added to round out our board. We also have Kristen Green, Sarah Cooperman, and Maureen Hagen. So that brings it to a total of 7 board members. We have 2 existing corporate sponsorships, SCW Fitness and Group X Pro. And then as far as the WEFA members, Mel, you were one of the founding WEFA members. We also have, Loretta Stace. We have Nathalie Lacombe. We have, Eric Kelly, Emma Berry, Missy Moss, Allison Flatley. Oh, gosh, who else am I not thinking of? Carrie Keppel, Michelle Wright, Meredith Harrington, who else am I thinking? Doris Lewis, Mia Smith, Meryl Hawk, Shannon Fable, Natasha Belleroth, like so many powerhouse women. And I've only named a few. There are so many other members of ours that are heavy hitters in the industry, to say the least. They're making huge inroads where they work and the people that they lead every day.
I mean, the response, once you launched with it, the response was incredible. I mean, I watched it on social media, Lindsey, and there were just women coming from every corner of the world going, hallelujah, this is fantastic. You know, a place not just for women to get educated, but for a place for women to come and to have other women support them to be the best that they can possibly be in the industry that women have struggled in. To be the best that they can be. And you can just tell by some of these names that you've just mentioned, you know, the support there is absolutely incredible. And I truly hope that after our podcast today that you are inundated with women all over the world, because this is not just an American thing. You know, as you mentioned, there's myself and there's Christian, and, you know, we're Aussie women who are looking for an avenue where we can go and be supported by other women to grow ourselves professionally in the industry. And I think that you'll be inundated with it. Now, it's a very easy process, Lindsey, to become a member of WEFO. So please do tell our listeners about all of the memberships that are available.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for asking. There's, you know, we are a global company, and that's, you know, I will say before I go into the different type of memberships that are available, 90% of the meetings that we have are on a virtual video platform. And what I love about that is that anyone can attend from anywhere in the world, and we do our best to find a time of day. This is actually about the time of day that we do our meetings, so that we can hit as many time zones as possible and make the meetings available to many. And we do have representation in, you know, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the UK, and of course domestically in the US as well. But we are a global organization, and I find that to be extremely exciting because it's giving the opportunity for people to network cross continents, which is huge. So as far as memberships go, there's 3 different ways that you can become a part of WEFO. So there's the Women in Fitness executive membership. And an executive membership is an individual woman that raises their hand and says, I want to be involved in this organization myself. It's $99 annually. And with that, you get access to our quarterly virtual meetings. And we're getting ready to have one actually here shortly. I don't know when this podcast will be released, but we have a meeting coming up on January 18th. And then our next gathering will be the week of Ursa. And that will be an in-person event. And then we have mentorship pairing that's a part of the executive membership, of course, networking. We feature every single member on the website with a link to their LinkedIn so that they can be elevated and, you know, people can see that they're on another website past their own. Speaking opportunities, and a blog contribution. So something that meant a lot to me in my career was when I got to start writing and publishing my original content. So we give anyone that wants to, you know, send in a podcast interview or a blog post that they've written, they can publish it to our website. That's one of our member privileges. So that's the executive membership. The other 2 ways that you can join are if you're a health club or you're a company within the fitness industry. So that could include, you know, you're a technology company supporting clubs, you're an equipment manufacturer, or you're a club or even a singular location. And you want to, you know, you want to be able to have executive members participate, and you want the benefits of, you know, being able to have your logo present on some of our meeting boards and things to that effect. So we've designed a sponsorship membership where a health club could join anywhere from 1 executive to 150 executives, and those price points are all listed on the website. And really the benefit of that is you can do it as a company. So let's say you're a health club chain and you have 50 women that work for you, and you want all 50 women to join WEFO, and you want your company to have substantial representation and advertising, then we give you both. And then the last but not least is the partnership opportunity. And a partnership is a donation to the non-for-profit organization where you're saying, we just want our business to be affiliated with this, and here's a certain amount of money, and we give you in exchange a substantial amount of advertising capacity to our body of people, and then also that affiliation. So we are a non-for-profit. No one is, on salaried with the association. We're truly trying to seed our money back into our events at this point so that we can provide the best possible experience for our members.
So, Lindsey, what I'm hearing is women don't sort of think, oh, I can't be a part of this. This is open to group fitness instructors, personal trainers, the frontline ladies at the front of the club, personal trainers. You don't necessarily need to be already a woman of power. That's correct, isn't it?
No. Oh, absolutely. We have, if you look on the website right now, the average age range, or not average, but we have women that are part of our group that are in their early 20s that just graduated from college and are in entry-level roles. And then we have women that have 30-year plus careers running large companies. There's literally that large of spectrum. So it does not matter. And it doesn't matter if you teach one group fitness class a week or you run 30 clubs. You're welcome.
Fantastic. So now you're having an in-person event at IRSA. What will that be all about? Because IRSA is in San Diego this year, so I hear women from all over the world are heading towards San Diego because it's a fantastic place to visit. Can you tell me a little bit about your in-person event?
Absolutely. And I feel excited because IRSA means a great deal to us. Obviously, there's such a great point in bringing people together every year. The Women in Fitness Association is a associate member with IRSA. And so our plan is, it's so great because every year at IRSA, so many people have parties in the evenings. And so what we're going to be doing is we've rented a lovely venue across the street from the convention center at the Omni, and we've reserved a space there to have a networking reception on Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. So all members and prospecting members of the Women in Fitness Association are welcome to join us, and we will be putting I would imagine by the time this airs, the ability to register for the event will be activated online. And so if you are a Women in Fitness Association member, then you get to come free of charge because it's part of your member benefits. And then we'd love to welcome anyone else that wants to join us to register and come to the event as well. It's going to be I personally feel extremely excited to network in person and to be able to give a lot of ladies a hug, quite honestly. And then also there's some great companies that are donating door prizes and loot. So it should be a really great time to, raise a glass of, sparkling water or champagne and toast our fellow women in our industry.
So, Lindsey, there's some amazing benefits to being a part of the WEFO family. And I was just thinking whilst you were speaking, a couple of things actually. So if a club owner like myself comes along and I join up, say, 15 of my female staff, I'm thinking that I could actually market my club as being a home of WEFO women. So
absolutely.
So you could actually put that onto your social media platforms that, my club encourages women in the fitness industry and we're a part of, the WEFO association. So that's something maybe other clubs could think about, that when they join the ladies up, it's just not about joining the ladies up. They can also be encouraging other women out there in social media by saying that they're the women of their club are part of your association. Which brings me to the next benefit is mentorship. So tell me, what is mentorship and how do you deliver it as an association?
Yeah, I love that you asked me this question because, that word I think has a lot of baggage for some people. And I say a lot of baggage loosely, like it's not like a damaged word, but I do think that there are certain stigmas that come with it. And and you and I have talked about this, Mel, but the way I like to think of it is it really doesn't matter if you're on, day 10 of your career, straight out of college, or you've been in the industry for 30 years. We all have something to learn from everyone. And some of my most teachable moments have come from the least expected places. And so what we do quarterly is we pair the women up. So you and one other member will become paired during that quarter, and we will provide a little outline of how you can engage with each other. Each meeting, like for instance, the meeting that we have tomorrow is all about starting your own business. So what we'll be doing is putting out a couple of talking points. This is something new that we're adding from our experience of learning this first round. But we'll be giving some talking points so that ultimately what it would look like is you would get an email. I'll just use Mel as an example. Mel, we'd like to introduce you to Lindsey. You guys are both WEFO members, and we'd like to invite you to have at least one call a month between now and the next meeting. And here's your context to start talking. And what we've heard from others is this really fun cross collaboration that's happened where two women get on the phone and they introduce themselves and they start talking about what they learned from the previous meeting. And I've seen a couple of emails come through and a couple of testimonials where it's like the next thing you know, that person has referred that person to that person. And they're like, oh, well, you need to meet so-and-so. And it's allowed for true networking to take place. Not like, here's my business card and it goes in a shoebox, but literal relationships are forming within the association and women are being helped. I saw one email come across my inbox where one mentor had connected another mentor with funding for their project, and they were helping them learn how to find capital funding for their project. And I mean, what an incredible thing to be connected with someone that could help you in that way. I know for myself, mentorship and having somebody that is willing to see what I'm capable of before it's realized for me, and for me to be able to take that risk. So I've had mentors that have said, Lindsey, you're capable of this. Just do it. I promise you'll be able to. And I've trusted them and I've taken the leap. And then I realize my own potential in that action. And I want that for everyone, because I don't think we should have to wait until we've been doing something for 20, 30 years to reach success. I think you can find success as soon as you're ready to put in the work. And it's in that work that you find the brilliance of what you're really great at. And I think it sometimes takes somebody saying, you can do it. I promise you can do it. That's done it before.
Yeah, I agree with that, Lindsey. It's not just about putting in the work, though. It's also about being able to take on other people's feedback and and realizing that we are all equal. I think that's the most important thing with women, that everybody needs to understand that we all have our own agenda. We're all equal, and we really want to help each other. And sometimes we just need to take a step back and listen to what other people have got to say, because I strongly believe that we can all learn from each other, irrespective of our role in the industry. And we've had this discussion before. I don't feel anybody is better than anybody else. I think everybody can learn from everybody. And I think that WEFO is the place that is going to bring more women together. Everybody's going to work in collaboration, because that's what we want. Everyone's going to get a fair go in the industry. And what's going to happen is we're going to start to encourage the younger people coming through the industry, because we're going to become positive role models. And, we want the younger people coming through to aspire to be like us, and to see that we are all equal. We all work together, and there is no, sitting on the fence, or you're in this park or you're in this park. We are one. And the industry needs to work together, not just as females, but males and females need to come together and work in unity. I think that is extremely important. Otherwise, where is our industry going to go if that doesn't happen?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Well,
there's so many things to discuss, isn't there? There's so many things to discuss. So let's go back to, so you're going to be at IRSA. You've got the in-person event. So all of your information will be popping up on your social media platforms, and obviously your members will receive emails to that event. You've got a webinar happening tomorrow, but unfortunately our podcast won't be released till after that. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get you to tell the listeners where they can contact you should they want to be involved in the next webinar, also about becoming a member, also for club owners to get in touch with you and seriously look at joining the women up in their clubs as club members, and also for people who are interested in sponsorships. And I'm going to speak to you about that, because I think it's extremely important, not just as a member but also as a business, to commit to you guys. So please do tell everybody that's listening today where they can contact you. Anything else that you want to let us know before we finish off?
Absolutely. So the www.womeninfitness.org is the website. On the website, you'll notice there's a section for members events. So we have our next virtual event is May 17th. And we have, like Mel mentioned, and we've talked about our live event that will be in person March 22nd, the Thursday night, the week of Ursa. And we'll be having a reception at the Omni Hotel in the evening after trade show hours from 6 to 8 p.m. That's the Thursday night. So those are the next two events. I will also mention too, Mel, this is something, if you're trying to decide if the Women in Fitness Association is something that you want to do, we are going to offer free webinars hosted by our board members for during the months that we don't have other meetings. And those months are February, April, June, July, and August. So during those months, we will be promoting on social media and offering registration for free events. I don't know if you noticed, but I did one a couple weeks ago about the power of social media for your individual brand. Yeah, so I did that just as a bonus to the members, but then anybody that's curious about what kind of information WEFO is putting out there. So that's all available on the website, as well as there's a section on the website for membership. There's a separate tab that is a shop, or the section on the website that says our doors are open, and it can take you right to a shopping cart where you could buy an executive membership online, or you can download, there's corporate sponsorship and partnership brochures. And then there's also in the shop, there are buttons. So if you wanted to, do, like I mentioned, the partnership level 1 all the way up to our diamond level, they're all listed there on the website.
Fantastic. And, Lindsey, when you think about it, an individual can join WEFO for $2 a week. And I think that's an amazing investment where it's going to lay the foundations for a very strong future for a lot of women in our industry. I thank you very much for your time today. And I look forward to catching up with you at Ursa. It's my number one favorite event to go to. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you again for your time. I will pop Lindsey's details in the bottom of our podcast for those that have missed anything that she has spoken about today. Again, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day, Lindsey.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining the Gym Owners Podcast, sponsored and supported by National Fitness Business Alliance and Gym Click Media. Find Mel Tempest on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Join us next time for the Gym Owners Podcast.